Mark Sanchez here. Welcome to my YouTube page. I have taken a very long hiatus, but we'll save that for another video. In short, in the past year, I've competed in about 6 competitions, one being the Arnold, OSG 2024, the Shaw Classic, Rainier, so I've been really busy. On top of all of that, I've changed jobs. I have also had a blessing of a child born into my life, as well as had a wedding. So life has been extremely busy. So YouTube kind of took a back seat, and I wanted to get back into YouTube so many times, but just time kind of got away from me. And finally, we have a pretty decent schedule now to kind of get back into the groove of things. So I'm about a little over 5 weeks out from the Santa Monica Classic being hosted by Martins Licis in Santa Monica, California. It's an excellent time for me to finally get to compete in front of my family. I'm from California originally, so this is the first time that my family will actually be able to come out and watch one of my shows. I've done everything from local contests here in Colorado all the way up to international level shows. So being able to actually compete on the beach, on the pier at Santa Monica, it's a really crazy opportunity. So today we've got log AMRAPs, we've got farmer carries, which I suck at, and I think we have keg loads. But we'll see, because I am a bit on a time crunch, so I might be trying to get through this video a little quicker than normal. And let's get started. So today, I'm working up to 275 pounds. I believe that's 125 kilos for 3 60-second AMRAPs. Based on conditioning, I would assume my rep range will probably drop off. For my first AMRAP, I'd like to get about 6. And from there, probably 5 and 5 ideally. If not, 5 and 4. But we'll really see moving into things. It's kind of hot out today, which I have to get used to anyways. It's been a long while. It's actually been since my very first strongman show, I think. Or no, I did a show in Wyoming called the Celtic Bison, and that was outdoors. This will be the first time in a while I've done a show outside. So. I'm not sure if you can hear the fire truck and ambulance in the background, but that was 250 pounds. Basically, one of the things that I want to work on, especially with these AMRAPs, something that I've done in the past that has really shot me in the foot, is I have a sprinting background, and as soon as I hear the whistle, I want to explode out of the blocks and give it 110%. The thing is though, say for example, I have 60 seconds, and I do 4 reps, 110%. Now I have, and say for example I do that in like 30 seconds. Now I have 30 more seconds of just absolutely sucking and trying to catch my breath and doing all this ugly, stupid shit, where I could be, especially pacing myself, maybe it's 60 seconds and I want to do 1 rep every 10 seconds. Or maybe that first set I do 2 in 10 seconds and then 1 every 10 seconds or something like that to try and inch away at getting 7. But I think for 320 pounds, for the show, so show's 320 pounds, there's 60 seconds. I think ultimately the winner will be able to get 7. I don't really know how you can get 8 unless you literally viper a couple of them and you're like consistently vipering them, not slowing down after that. But 8 I'd be impressed with. So we're gonna put 375 on here now. We have 350, so 360, and then some 5, and then the 2.5s, and then we'll start my first AMRAP. So, in order to avoid demonetization, we're going to do a voiceover during the scenes that have audio playing in the background. So during this AMRAP, we are trying to focus on trying to keep a consistent pace. However, you'll kind of notice after my 4th or 5th repetition, totally screwed that up. Definitely was not paying attention to my time, and I kind of just wanted to go ahead and just hammer out as many reps as possible. After about 2 or 3 reps here, I kind of am like, oh, this is a lot easier than I was expecting it to be, and so I kind of slammed my foot on the gas a little harder than normal. And then after, I believe it's my 5th rep here coming up, you'll see me even stop and look at the time here in about 35 or so seconds. I hit my 5th rep. And I stopped and looked at the clock. I had about 25 seconds left, and I was like, oh, okay, I am definitely working way too hard because now I'm gassed and I'm wasting a bunch of time. So finally, with 10 seconds to spare, barely, I go ahead and go for my 6th attempt, and I am barely successful, depending on how you count it. Barely able to score. Next up here, we have my 3rd set, so I had 3 total. This is my last set of an AMRAP for 60 seconds at 275. This one I was a lot more conscious of trying to keep a pace. For some weird reason, I decided to forego belt, elbow sleeves, etc. I felt like the weight was pretty light enough to where I wanted to kind of just train it a little bit more raw. Here, for some reason, I don't know what it was, but mentally I was just so dialed in. I wasn't feeling gassed or fatigued on any of these cleans. I felt like I was keeping pace really well. I think the one thing that I would say that is very minute as a detail would be to just kind of move faster. I'm taking a couple breaths before each clean. I'm breathing at the top of the lockout, and I think I'm just kind of at a point where I should probably be able to squeeze at least one more rep in the 60 seconds, especially at this weight. So based on how this is moving, I'm really happy with all this. So just wrapped up 3 AMRAPs at 275 pounds, 125 kilos. Honestly, it felt really well. I actually would say so that I surprised myself in the sense that I was thinking that I'd have some, I was thinking that I would be having some fatigue and energy degradation, but realistically I didn't. I tried to take no more than 5 minutes of rest in between. I know that sounds like a long time, and I agree that that's a long time, but I would also argue that because I'm doing 3 AMRAPs, while it's not 80% for me, I would say it's about 75-80% of the competition weight, and so that was just very like competition standards. I got 6 every single time, which makes me confident that I could probably get 6 in the show. The first time you saw, I feel like I did not listen to what I was trying to work on, which was keeping a pace. And that screwed me up because I think it was like rep 4 or rep 5. I took like maybe a solid 20-second break, and that really hurt me. And then doing that 6th one really kind of was the nail in the coffin. And so what I try to do is maintain breathing, maintain a consistent pace. I was able to get all 6. I would say 6 was probably the slowest out of all of them. And I probably cheated that lockout a little bit in my honest opinion. But when I looked at the clock, I had 8 seconds to spare. So I don't feel like that was very strength taxing. I feel like it was just a lot of conditioning, honestly, in my opinion. So I got to work on that a little bit as we get into the Santa Monica Classic. But on top of that, really good log session. Now I have farmer carries, and then I have some keg stuff. So unfortunately, ran out of time. Honestly, I was trying to move as fast as I can, but honestly, I really suck at farmers. I worked up to 265. I did some timed holds, and then some AMRAPs for distance down and back as much as I could. And honestly, it just took too much time because now I have keg loads and keg carries. I'll probably do that tomorrow, just because tomorrow is Saturday. I have a strongman training session in the morning, and then some friend events later in the evening. So in between those two, I'll probably try and get kegs done. But yeah, kind of sucks. I really hate breaking up my workouts, but lately trying to do my strongman sessions on Fridays have really been like they've been a day suck, honestly. And ever since becoming a father, and especially a husband too, like I don't want to spend more than like 2.5-3 hours training. It was really nice because my wife and I got to train before I started filming this video. So she's also getting ready for a novice show that I'm hosting here in Colorado Springs. So I got to work with her a little bit, and our son got to hang out with us while we did that. So that was a nice little family event. But then, when it comes to, closing the windows and stuff like that, I try to take my training as serious as possible, so I have no distractions. So it's kind of when everyone kind of walks away, and I get after it by myself. But some key takeaways from today: I'm really happy with my log, and I'm really happy with, you know, I did farmer. I really get into a habit of honestly being soft and just telling myself not to do it, and finding excuses. But I did it. It sucked. But like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and do keg tomorrow. I'll still film that session, so you'll still see that after this as well. But if you're wondering why all of a sudden I'm in a different outfit tomorrow doing kegs, well, that is why. So, all right, let's get after it.
You need me to roll it for you?
Okay, so you just saw, sorry, so that was a little bit of a weird transition, but on Saturdays, if you haven't seen already on social media, basically I'm hosting my very first novice-only strongman show here in Colorado Springs, and that's happening in August. And because it's a novice show, what I wanted to do to give back to the community even more is on Saturdays host an open gym Strongman Saturday, where I teach athletes the events, give pointers, tips, and stuff like that. So I do offer coaching on Saturdays for that show. And so I got to the gym at 10. We were in coaching session till about 12:30, 1 o'clock-ish, and then afterwards I was able to do my workout, finish the farmer carry, because my coach Gabe wanted to see some things that I unfortunately didn't film for my farmer carries, so he wanted to see some stuff there. And then on top of that, I had some keg loads that I also did. That keg is 300 pounds, it was super loud, but I feel really good about keg loads. It'll really be the keg carry that might throw me off, but all in all, I feel really good about the keg. I feel really good about log. I feel really good about a lot of the events at Santa Monica. So I hope you guys enjoyed this first episode back. Like I said, sorry again, it was a little bit, the transitions in this episode were a little off. But with that all being said, we are 31 days, 6 weeks away from the Santa Monica Classic, and I'm excited to take you guys on the journey getting there. So thank you for watching. Hit that like button. If you guys have any questions or things that we could do to post a little more content, kind of give you guys some stuff in the behind the scenes, let me know in the comments. Until then, see you next time.